Blog Talk Radio.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, no matter where you're listening around the world. This is Sedona Talk Radio.
Hello and welcome to Intuitive Guidance with Lindsay Marino. Today is April 29th, 2013. We had a great show last week. Lisa Williams came on the show to talk about her book, The Survival of the Soul, and she had said she wasn't going to do any readings, but she was so nice, and of course she did. She did the readings. People had called in and connected to loved ones, and also at the very end I did some mini readings also. So if you missed that show, you have to go to lindsaymarino.com. And since I have a new website up, it's easy to go in and enter your details. You can enter your first name and your email address to get free tips on intuition and other fun things. I have some video blogs coming up that are really informative, and I know you guys would love them. So you have to enter your email and your name so you can get those updates. Today we have a great guest on. Her name is Louise Helene, and she is a pro. She has done over 4,900 readings on some different psychic hotlines. Right now she's on Keen.com, and she's a second-generation psychic, spiritual advisor and healer. She does tarot cards, and she's a gifted medium and a crystal ball gazer. She's been doing this for over 30 years, and she's helped many, many people. And the most exciting part about tonight's show, I think, is she's going to talk to us about her book, and it's called I Saw Your Future and He's Not in It. We've had so many people calling in the show to talk about relationships and love questions and when am I going to find my soulmate, and is this person the right one for me? And we broke up. Are we going to get back together? I had someone call last week towards the end of the show, so some of you might have missed that because it was cut off the last couple of minutes, so you might have to re-listen to those last few minutes. And she was asking about some different pieces of advice about relationship questions. And a lot of people have been messaging me on Facebook, and also some clients have been booking readings specifically towards finding the right one. And so I'm so excited to have Louise be on the show tonight because you are able to call in and talk with her and get intuitive insight on any relationships that you're in now, or maybe relationships that you would like to be in but you aren't in yet. So I want you to take down this number because we are taking calls before the last 25 minutes of today's show. So call in. The number that you can call in at is 718-664-6348. So if you would like to ask Louise any question about relationships, call in now. In the next few minutes, we will take your call. So I am so happy to welcome Louise Helene. Welcome, Louise.
Hello, Lindsay. Yes, hello, Lindsay. How are you tonight?
I am doing great. I'm so ready to talk to you about your book.
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
I really am. This is a much-needed topic that we have to discuss because a lot of people have been asking that question. When am I going to find my soulmate?
Yes, yes. I've been a reader for many years. You know, I helped my mother. She was a spiritualist minister, and I gave my first reading when I was 12 years old. And I've been reading. I have clients, and I've been reading for over 30 years. And that is a very, very important question. You know, everyone's looking for love. They're looking for their soulmate. Sometimes someone comes into our life to teach us some things or learn something from them, and then they move on. Everybody is not a soulmate, but we all want love, and it's a little bit of a bumpy road sometimes.
Exactly. It is.
Yes.
It really is.
Yes.
And what was one of the first readings? I'm interested to know to kind of veer off the topic of love, but what was your first reading about? Do you remember when you were 12?
I remember. As I said, my mother was a spiritualist minister, so I was at a spiritualist church, and my mother encouraged me. And in the spiritualist church, many readings are actually given, it's part of the service, a reading from the front. And so I stood up in front of everyone, and my mother encouraged me because she said I was very psychic and I was going to be a wonderful reader one day. And she encouraged me to get up. And it was a lady, and I saw the spirit of her father behind her. And I could hear him saying to me that he was okay. And that was my first reading. And her father was, I didn't know this lady. Her father had been a very troubled man. And he was tormented by many demons, and figuratively, and had drank a lot, and he was happy, and so that meant a lot to her. So I do remember my first reading, yes.
Wow, that's it. That's the best. That first reading and just building that confidence right there, because everyone has it inside of them, right? And it's just, when it's validated and you know it's right. It's just,
and actually there was a whole room full of people. So my first reading was given in front of an audience.
Wow. That's a big, and that's something that some people can't say, that first reading, so that's pretty brave for a 12-year-old.
I was a little nervous. I was 12 years old, so I was a little nervous. But I used to sit on my mother's knee, and she would give readings, and she had many regular clients, and sometimes I wasn't allowed to listen, but I would sit there and I'd listen, and she'd lay her cards out or look in her crystal. So I have been around psychic things my whole life.
So when you do the crystal ball readings, what types of things? Can you explain that a little bit before we go into the love and the romance?
Yes.
In the book.
I use my mother's crystal, and I look into the crystal, and I usually put a dark cloth around the sides because I don't want a reflection of light from the sides. And when I look in there, and then sometimes it takes me a few moments. Many times when I'm giving my readings, even if I'm using the tarot cards, and I do everything. I mean, I'm a medium also. I don't need really tools. Many times I use these tools to confirm what I'm feeling. But anyway, I block the light out a little bit, and I look in there and I see things. I'll see, sometimes it will be symbolic. Sometimes it will be a word, and specific, or a name of someone. So that's what I do. But I always block the light out. In my book, I actually have an exercise that can help. It's actually an exercise where you take a glass of water and you put a few drops of food coloring in the glass, and you can see the shapes as they turn. This is one of my psychic edge exercises in my book.
Oh my gosh, that's interesting. So you actually look in at the water and you can see different things.
Yes, and it will help you. I don't have to do that, but this is an excellent way to train your psychic eye. And you take a clear glass of water, you put a drop of food coloring in the glass, and you look and see what shapes you're seeing. And this is something that takes practice, but it's a good tool for the beginning. And it's a good way to exercise. I call it your psychic muscle and your psychic eye, because when everyone's intuitive. And many ladies that they're into, that need to know about their love life, and they're undecided about things and unsure of things. Many times, if they would listen to their inner intuition, because everyone is intuitive to a certain degree, it's just developed in some people more than others. So if they would listen, many times they have the answer themselves.
It's true. I was actually watching Oprah. I love the OWN network. Her master class, it's called.
Yes.
I'm not sure if you're familiar with that.
I haven't seen the show, but I have heard of it, yes.
Okay. Well, she talks about, I don't know if it was Dr. Phil. I don't want to quote the wrong person, but there was someone on the show, maybe Iana, and she talks about really most of the time we have that inner feeling, that feeling in our gut where something's not right, or something is, it's an amazing feeling, it's unexplainable, but usually we know it's just a matter of trusting it and following that first reaction.
Oh, exactly.
And I think that's what a lot of us need to just trust ourselves. But with that practice, with what you were saying, just that piece in the book would help us build our confidence by kind of practicing in our own home.
Oh, yes, absolutely. My book there's 20 chapters, there's 20 exercises. At the end of each chapter, I have I call it a psychic edge exercise. And some of them are visualization. Some of them are actual psychic, like the exercises. All of these things help to enhance your psychic intuition and your awareness. Because when you get that psychic feeling, you want to recognize it and listen to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Many times people, as you're saying, they just don't listen. No matter how strong it is, they doubt themselves. So the exercises in my book help to build confidence, and I also believe in visualization, where we draw things to ourselves. What we put out.
Yes, I do too.
Yes, we receive. So
it's true, and I think that's important. One of the questions I had from a client, she had sent me an email asking if she was going to receive money, but the sense that I had received was she had a fear with money, and she always felt like there wasn't enough. So what she was attracting was fearful things that were coming into her energy field. And when we put out that fear, that sense of fear, that's exactly what we get in return.
Exactly.
And it's a big concept, but it makes sense. It really does.
Oh, it is. It is. And many times the negative feelings that we have, they're so deep and ingrained in us. It's almost in our subconscious mind.
Right.
And we put that out. We don't even realize it. So my exercises help train and exercise your psychic muscle, awareness of your intuition, to recognize that sensation when you get it, and listen to yourself. And it's all to strengthen.
Okay. So, if we had a client call in and ask about finding their soulmate, when is my soulmate going to come, and what kind of signs should I expect, to see when my soulmate is coming through? What types of things would you tell them, just from some pieces in your books, like some main tips that you want to share?
All right. Well, if I was going to, if someone asked me a question like that, of course I would have to concentrate on that particular person's vibration. But what kinds of things would I say? Well, I'm very much that we can't rush things.
Mm-hmm.
People many times want their soulmate now, or they're ready now. Well, their soulmate might not be in the position to be with them now. So sometimes we have to wait for him.
Exactly.
And maybe he's married. Maybe he's going through a divorce.
Mm-hmm.
I feel that many times people rush. I always tell my clients to stop, breathe a little bit, and wait.
Exactly.
And when the right time comes, it will come to you. And it's also, if we visualize and believe that it's coming. Another thing with soulmate, I believe in reincarnation. And I believe that we have many soulmates on this earth, not just one.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes we're supposed to learn something from a soulmate, but that's not the one that soulmate is not the soulmate that's going to be our life partner. And so sometimes we need to learn something from someone and then move on to someone that will make us happier.
It makes sense. It reminds me of the book Only Love is Real by Brian Weiss. I'm not sure if you're familiar with Brian Weiss.
Oh, no. Mm-mm.
Oh, he wrote this book. It's all about soulmates, and he talks exactly what you just said. There's different soulmates at different times, and some people might come in your life to teach you the meaning of trust or belief in yourself. And sometimes we say, well, why did I have to go through this moment in the relationship? Why do I always pick the bad guys? You hear a lot of people say that.
Oh, I hear that, yes.
There is something that, we're putting out in the energy field that's causing us to pick these people and maybe we're seeing that we may at that point not be worthy or feel like we're worthy of receiving certain people.
Yes.
I did speak on my show a couple of weeks ago, and I spoke about him a few times, but Tony, the relationship that I'm in now, we always say it, if we tried to, if we found each other 2 years ago, not 2 years ago because it's been over 2 years, but just say 10 years ago, we would never be together because we weren't the same person then, and we weren't prepared. Our souls weren't prepared to be together, and we weren't living in the way that we would be now. Yes. So it is all about divine timing, really.
Oh, yes, it is, and that's what I try to tell my clients. But they many times they're ready. Even if they're ready, the other person might not be ready. You know, it has to be perfect, divine timing, as you said. Absolutely, yes.
Yeah. So, what are some things that you talk about in your book that's important for us to note in relationships? If you're in a relationship that might not be going the way that it's supposed to be going, or the way that you think it's supposed to be going.
In my book, I tell real stories from real clients that I know the outcome. I know if they ended up with the person when they called me. I know the outcome, and I tell stories. And many times, you know, they're calling me, of course, because they need some guidance or they're unsure. And I know so much that if they would listen to themselves, they would have known the answers. So it is stories, very interesting stories about questions that women, are very common questions that women have about the man that's either in their life or that they're looking for. A very common question that I receive from women, they're waiting for the man to call them. Whether they've given their number to someone that they just met, or it's their boyfriend and he is not calling them. It's been 2 days. Sometimes they're very nervous and he hasn't called them for 3 hours. And you know, and so I have. So my chapters, there'll be a chapter like why doesn't he call? There'll be another chapter. Is he cheating? There's stories, and then there's some facts. My niece co-wrote the book with me. She researched facts about romance and things, and she has a nice little section in there, just the facts, and she did a wonderful job on it. And then I have my psychic exercises, and they're very interesting stories. Even if someone is in a good relationship, one common thing that I've heard from ladies is that they see themselves in the book or one of their friends, because each chapter addresses something that's very important to women. Very important to women. Why haven't they heard from him? Why hasn't he called? Marriage, why hasn't he proposed? Many different things. And they're very, many women are very unsure, and I also deal with modern technology, you know, the dating online. And
I feel like that's a big thing right now. Isn't it funny how everything is connected, how now everyone's into Facebook, and it seems like the universe is connecting as one in other ways with the Internet.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's crazy how it's been happening.
Yes. And, you know, a very common thing that I'm hearing is that men are not really calling the women anymore. And I say men in particular because, you know, women text also. I mean, many people like to text, but women do like to hear the man that they're interested in. They like to hear his voice. That's a little bit more of a personal connection.
Yeah.
And so many of the women that call me, they maybe haven't even talked to their guy and heard his voice in 4 days, but he texts them.
Yeah, isn't that funny? I think that it's weird how that's shifted.
Yes, and it's less personal.
It is.
It's less personal, and I do feel that it breaks down some of the intimacy. I know that, even if these people are seeing that there's just something, it breaks down some of the intimacy. And men seem to prefer the texting.
Yeah.
And so I deal with and dating online, and really with dating online, more important than ever, you need to listen to your intuition.
That's definitely true, because I've seen some people, go online and they think they're meeting one person and that person doesn't show up, or creating profiles of people that they think they want to. I have one situation where I have a distant friend, a friend of a friend, I'll just say, and they had found out that one of the people had actually created a profile to attract the right mate, thinking, okay, all these things that I write, it has to attract someone. But if you think about it, if you're creating a profile that's not really you and you're not being your authentic self, then you're going to create an attraction to someone coming into your energy field that's completely wrong for you.
Exactly.
So, and it kind of connects to us being our authentic selves in general, not even just online dating. But when you act one way and you attract certain people into your life and you wonder, why am I getting these people? Well, you have to be real with everyone. So I think it kind of comes back to that. We have actually a caller that's on the line. I'm going to open up the call. This is a 954 number, and if she has a question for you or he has a question for you, if you don't mind answering.
Oh, absolutely. I'd love to take a call.
Okay. Hello, welcome to the show. Hello? This is a 954 number? Okay. I guess they're not picking up. So for some reason it's the call was lost. But if they call back, I'll let you know. But as we were talking about with the online dating, have you had a lot of people that have been asking for readings? Have they been feeling like they're more connected and they can be more of themselves because they're not holding back because they don't have to meet in person right away? Have you found that when you've been giving readings to people?
Not. The biggest problem, not really. The biggest thing that I get with online dating is that many of the men are not less than honest. And many of the men want to sit and email back and forth for several weeks, months, not really take any action to meet. And it's very confusing to women. And they'll have man after man do that. And or the man wants to just converse with them through text. And she wants to meet the gentleman, and he wants to converse through text. So I always tell women, the way you start a relationship is sort of sets the tone of the relationship. And I always recommend that they do not text the guy. Don't start it. And I've also told women, don't, if he starts texting, say to him, I don't have a plan and I don't really text.
That's a good point, too, because...
She can say, I don't have a texting plan. But if they want to give an excuse, fine. Or if they say, I don't really text, only in emergencies. And don't let that start. Even if you like to text, don't get that started, because it ends up, I've seen it so many times, and I've taken thousands of calls, and I have many clients. I've seen it many times that it will begin that way, and then they're never hearing his voice. They're never connecting. So another thing that's a big issue, I don't know if you've heard this, Facebook. Facebook, everyone puts a happy face on for Facebook. And no one puts on, I'm miserable. Usually people don't put on I'm miserable. They put their happy pictures. They put more upbeat things. And many ladies, they'll look at an ex's or someone that they've recently broken up with, or a current boyfriend, and they're always they're wondering about who the photos are of the different people or the friends on there. It's very, very confusing sometimes.
That's true. That is true. And I find that what you're saying, it can go both ways. It's like they're either really happy or they're miserable.
Yes.
And you don't know what's really going on. Okay, we do have another caller calling in.
Yes.
Welcome to the show.
Hi, I have a question.
Yes.
I've been married for many years, over 35 years, and my husband and I have been separated for 2.5 years, and we're trying to work at our marriage and get back together. But I just don't know if this is the route that I should go. If I should, we're trying so hard to keep it together, but I don't know. We both love each other, but there's so many past things that have happened that we have to get over in order to move forward. And, I say to myself, well, do I want to go back to it the way it was, even though that's not what we're trying to do? But because you can't change somebody. But we're both trying.
Very difficult.
Yeah.
I feel he's a very difficult man.
Yeah.
Very difficult. And I do feel that for some reason, I feel the number 10 around him, maybe 10 years. Does 10 years of your marriage have anything to do? I feel there's something significant with 10 years, either 10 years after you were married or 10 years before you separated. I feel that there's significance with that. I see that.
Really?
Yes, I see that as an important number, actually, the number 10.
Okay.
I didn't want to interrupt you, but I wanted to, if I don't say my psychic things, as I feel them, I might forget. I do feel that you will reconcile with him. I feel that you'll get back together.
Okay.
I feel that you will.
Okay.
I don't feel. He will try to change or be different. He will try, and I feel he will make an effort. I actually feel he's making an effort now.
Yes, he is.
A sincere effort.
Yes, he is.
But he's going to have to keep working on that. You will have to keep reminding him.
Okay.
Now I'm going to give you something else. I'd like you to close your eyes and visualize him for a moment, his eyes and his face.
Okay.
Now, for some reason, when I'm feeling him, I hear the word criticize. And I hear the word criticize, and I feel inside of him, does he feel that you've criticized him and that you have criticized him too much?
Probably, yes.
Because I feel this from him.
I think that's what hurt him, because I was brutally honest.
Yes.
And he's holding that grudge.
I feel it.
He can't let go of that.
Yes, I feel that.
Even though I've explained to him why I felt the way I did.
Yes. Criticize. I feel that it just comes from him. It really hurt him. Inside of him, I will tell you this, and I don't know if you're aware, I feel that he does have a fragile ego inside.
Yes. I agree.
Very fragile. And I will say this, as I feel your vibration and his vibration, I do feel that the two of you will reconcile, you'll get back together. I feel that you will need, however, psychic predictions are important, but sometimes we can do things to help. I feel that you will, I feel it's very important for you to remind him in a non-critical way.
Right.
There's
a way to deal with him, right.
Yes. Remind him in a non-critical way.
Yeah.
He will try, because I feel he's trying now.
Yes.
And I feel that things will work out. I feel that deep inside of both of you, not only do you both love each other,
yes,
but I really don't feel the two of you want to. I don't feel the two of you want to live without each other.
That's true. It's true. You're right on. Everything you said.
I feel it, and I get a lovely vibration. Actually, when you get back together, now remember, it's not going to be perfect because you're going to have to remind him in a non-critical way.
Yes.
And that is the key in how to handle him.
Yes.
And if you handle him this way, he will be eager to
work at it.
To work at it and keep the changes that he's trying to do. I hear the word rose.
Rose?
I hear the word rose.
Rose.
And I don't now. I will say this: when I receive things psychically, sometimes I see symbols. I saw a red rose. I don't see that many symbols, but sometimes I will see something that this really jumps out at me. And I feel this is a symbol. Now, red roses, of course, have to do with love. This is one red rose. And it's just, I just want to, when I'm talking about it, I feel your husband loves you very deeply. And I'm going to give you something else. Something, not that this is an excuse, but something from his past, maybe his childhood, this goes back, is responsible for the way he's a difficult person. And I feel it contributes to, it is the cause of why he's difficult. It's something from the past.
Okay. I think that also.
Yes.
Yes. Thank you. I appreciate this. Thank you so much.
Yes.
I'm enjoying the show.
Yes, and God bless you.
Thank you for calling in.
Okay. Thank you. Bye-bye.
God bless.
Bye-bye. So, wow, that was interesting. So right away, all that information had come up and you felt that vibration.
Yeah, I didn't want to interrupt her. She was starting to ask, but I just felt it. And if I don't see it right away, then, you know. And as people are asking me a question, I actually try to get their vibration and the other person's vibration at that moment. So sometimes when I'm reading for someone, you know, they'll be talking, and I'm listening, but I am trying to feel the vibration of both of them.
Okay, so because for me, when I'm doing these readings, like you know how they're asking a question, but all of a sudden the information is pouring in, and you don't want to stop them, but you don't want to lose the information.
Yes, and you do lose it. You know that. Yeah, you lose it.
It's true. And sometimes I even forget. After I give the reading, I might forget bits and pieces of it because really we're just, you know, a vessel for these messages.
Oh, yeah.
So if I don't talk about it right away, it's almost as if I don't even remember the details of it. Someone said, "What did you say in that reading?" And I said, I couldn't tell you some of the details.
Yes, that happens with me also, yes. It depends. I'm in different states of mind at different times when I'm giving readings.
Right.
Sometimes I remember every detail of what I said, and sometimes I don't just exactly what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's interesting how that happens. Okay, when you said you were feeling the vibration of the two of them, tell me what types of things, you know, just for us to look out for if we want to try to tap into that vibration. Do you close your eyes?
I usually close my eyes.
Okay.
I usually close my eyes. Sometimes I have it open. But as I'm listening to her voice, I project. And see, some of my exercises, in visualization exercises I have in my book, actually, people might be unaware, but it is helping them to accomplish this. But I will just listen to their voice and go into the sound of their voice. And then I start feeling this, sometimes it's a flutter, and I will get a chill sometimes. And immediately when I feel that chill, then I will know, I'm supposed to say this. And, and everyone's individual with what they will feel. And everyone is an individual in what they will feel. They have to figure out what sensations they have. I have a client that's doing some exercises, and she said she'll feel like a knot in the pit of her stomach. All right, that's her sign.
Is that a good
That's
feeling?
for her. Yes.
Okay. And sometimes, you know, sometimes I have goosebumps if someone's coming, a spirit's coming through for me to give a message. Sometimes I feel goosebumps on certain parts of my body, like I might feel it on my right arm or on my head. That means something else. So there is a certain feeling in my stomach, but I didn't know that. Now, when you say a knot in the stomach, is that like
Well, that's the way she
pain.
felt it. That was her
Okay.
sensation. Yours could be different. Mine could be totally different than yours. But do you know? Now you're very psychic, so you're aware of all. You're aware of all these sensations in your body. Many people, everyone has a certain degree of intuition. It's just developed in some people more than others, and some people are a little more gifted. But everyone has potential to be better. I always say that these exercises, we exercise our body. The exercises in my book help exercise our psychic muscle. And so anyway, but many people, you're aware of these sensations, but many people have them, and they don't notice.
That's
they
true.
They don't recognize it. Yes.
I think most of my life I didn't realize the stuff that was happening, and it caused me to have anxiety, but I didn't know where the anxiety was coming from, and I realized I was so sensitive to other people's energies that it was actually causing anxious feeling. And it still could happen, and that's one thing that, I do want to talk to you about also was just clearing your energy when you feel like you're overwhelmed with everyone's energy around you, when you're very sensitive to this. Do you do those practices where you actually, if there was a breakup, a lot of people ask me, what do I do after I'm broken up with a person? I tell a lot of people to sage everything, purge everything out, get everything out and really kind of go through your stuff when you're ready to get that energy and kind of clear it.
Yes, I know many people that do that. Now, as far as my clients, there's different things. I will intuitively feel different things for them to do. I have told some people to sage. I've told some people to light white candles around. White candles is for cleansing and purity. Salt in front of, you've heard of salt in front of the openings to the doors.
Yes.
Leading into the home. Also, something that I will tell clients, depending what is going on, is to put a little salt in a bowl and a couple times a day rinse their hands in this slightly salted water. And it is a way of cleansing. Many times it will help cleanse not only around them, but the negative energy from their own body.
Okay.
So it's not just supposed to be around us. Sometimes we have to do some things and some fragrances like honeysuckle, rose, some different, and the fragrance of sage, by the way.
Yeah, you know what, there is. I just realized that there was a sage candle, and I wasn't connecting the two with the actual smudger. And I had another question about the caller that just called in. Since she's working on her relationship, I felt when she was, when you guys were talking, I really felt that the two of them were soulmates, and there was a lot of deep stuff that's carried over many lifetimes. And I feel like that's really one of the things also that I sense with some people that I've spoke with before. Now, since they're starting this brand new, let's work on the relationship type thing, if someone's going through that where they want to start anew, we're going through this big shift in our universe right now, and I talk about it a lot on the show. What are some things that they can do to really start fresh, even when they're trying more? But is there something that they can do that just even if it's something, like you said, put salt in the doorways of a house that they would, be spending time in, or what's something that they could do?
Actually, each of them taking some time every day to meditate. Each separately from each other. Some time to meditate. What happens if one of them, because you know how you could have both people that would do that, and then maybe one person, Oh, many times there's no cooperation. And, unfortunately, ladies, whoever's listening, and you, unfortunately, many times it's the men that don't cooperate.
Yes, yeah. I got lucky. Mine loves to meditate. That's a good
That's
thing.
wonderful. And, some men have found that, but I'm speaking generalizations, so I have heard it where sometimes it's the woman that doesn't, but so many of the men don't want to cooperate, and I think that maybe some of them feel it's not manly. It depends on the man, but many of the men don't cooperate, and in a way, it's almost like they're admitting that they're wrong, in some way.
Exactly. Yeah, what is that about? That's the ego, I guess, talking?
Yes, it's the ego, but if each of them, and actually if you're with a guy that won't meditate, don't push it too much. It's not a good sign if he won't at least humor you, okay? But at least meditate yourself, because meditation not only clears negative energy from our body, but also in our surroundings. So that is something that you can do. Both people can do it, but it will help even if one doesn't.
Okay. And we have another caller. Do you mind taking this caller?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. This is really helpful. I'm glad that we're talking about this, because it's a big, big issue that we need to talk about.
Yes.
Welcome to the show.
Hi, this is Nicole.
Hello, Nicole. How are you?
Hi, good. How are you? Thank you so much for taking my call.
Oh, you're welcome.
You're welcome.
I hope I don't lose reception. I'm just driving, so hopefully you try to pull over.
Okay. And do you have a question for Louise?
I have to be honest, I just tuned into the call, but I always love to get insight on my life and where I'm at. I'm, feeling like I'm almost at the height of my career and on a path change as far as, probably about to find that special person, and just wanting to make sure that I'm in the right stage of my life and making the right decisions.
I would like you to, I just wanted to get your vibration for a moment as you were speaking. One thing that really jumped out at me that I wanted to give you, I saw a large piece of white paper when you were speaking. And actually my psychic eye interpreted this. Something is going to be coming up in your career, and I see something that appears to me like a contract of some kind.
Okay.
A deal or a contract of some kind. And this feels very important. It feels very important. I do want to give you, I believe it is in connection to this. I see the month of September around this, and I get a very good feeling, very, very good feeling. And I feel the next 3 years will be, it feels to me just like an upward climb, but not a difficult upward climb. I'm not going to say effortless, but it's very fluid, very fluid. I get a very positive feeling around you. Now I saw a ring as I was just speaking.
It's always good.
Yes, I saw a ring. I feel this summer in August and September, actually those August, September, actually from now, I see someone coming into your life. It looks like the beginning is a little bit uncertain. As I was talking about men calling, I feel that there might be a little bit of miscommunication in the very beginning, and surprisingly, I feel all of a sudden things sort of falling into place. So I see someone coming into your life. I feel this is a very important person. I feel that you will talk about living together and being engaged, and I see outside. The two of you will be outside a lot. It feels like he's very active. He likes outdoor things, walks and things like that. Do you like these sort of things?
Yes, I do, a lot, actually. I've been trying to look for someone that has those traits. I'm a nature person.
Yes. I see trees and I see outside, and he loves, you're going to do a lot of activities outdoors, and I get a lovely feeling. This feels to me like a soulmate. I feel,
Wow.
and I'll give you a little bit more info on this.
I just got goosebumps on that one.
I did too. Yeah.
Yes. And I see this feels like I see a ring, but I feel you will live together first. You will live together first. And one thing, though, I feel, and this might be where I see a little difficulty, I feel he lives a little far from you.
Okay.
And that's not insurmountable, and I don't feel it will be because I get a good feeling, but he lives a little bit far from you, but you'll work that out. I see the two of you living together. And eventually, so I see this ring. I see an engagement ring. Mm-hmm.
Okay, great.
And I see an airplane, and I see Hawaii.
Oh, my gosh, I've been saying Hawaii for the longest time. That's funny.
Mm-hmm. Hawaii.
Mm-hmm. I wonder...
But I get a very good feeling. Lindsay,
really
did you feel anything with her? Did you pick up anything?
Well, when you had just said about the soulmate, I got goosebumps, and I felt like, as you were talking, I definitely sensed that he was near, and I was kind of confused if he's already been in her life or he's coming in. With that, with the communication was kind of fuzzy at first, and I was kind of getting mixed feelings about that, trying to figure out if it's someone that's coming through that's already been in her presence.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I don't know how you felt about that too.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if you felt that she's come into contact with him or he's going to come up into her life soon.
As you're saying that, I really didn't have a feeling about that, but as you're saying it, I feel that there is some sort of connection, even if she hasn't actually physically come in contact with him, it will be through someone. Right?
Okay.
There'll be a connection that is in her life now. There's a connection. Yes.
Okay, great. And do I need to do anything to prepare or to reach out? Because, there's someone that's in the top of my mind, my forefront of my mind that I had met that I thought was that person, and I don't know if I'm supposed to follow up in communication with him or just let things be or what.
How long ago did you meet this person?
Well, we met before Christmas, but we really started to connect about 2 months ago.
Okay.
Months ago.
All right. No, I feel that you should keep communication up with them.
Okay.
I feel you should keep communication up with them. I see the number 3 months. Now, you've known him too. It could. I'm uncertain about this when I see the 3 months, so I'm going to give you 2 time frames here. 3 months, that would be 1 month from now, or 3 months from the time we are speaking. All right? It's not that big of a difference in time. I feel there's more to come with this gentleman that you just mentioned in this time frame. Now, is contact a little sporadic and not?
Yeah.
Okay. Exactly what I felt with your soulmate, actually.
Okay.
Remember I said that there would be something not right about the connection and the contact and everything. Stay in contact with him. Don't worry too much who's contacting who.
Okay.
All right. Do you ever worry, hesitate with contacting? Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Don't worry about that.
Okay.
You know what I want you to do? I want you to, instead of thinking he's a man and you're a woman and maybe you don't want to reach out and worry about who's contacting who, try to put in your mind that he's just a friend. And how would you treat a friend?
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. That's so important.
Okay.
Yeah.
And treat him the way you would treat a friend. And take away that he's a man, you're a woman, and all the things that are going through your mind about that. And just think of him as a friend, and how would you treat him and act toward him and reach out to him if he was a friend?
Okay. That sounds great.
And that will be the correct way you're supposed to act toward him.
Okay. I don't know how much time I can take of yours, but I have one more question, if that's okay.
Yes.
When you mentioned traveling and the person's kind of far, there's another person that was on the East Coast and I live on the West Coast, so I didn't know if it was something where that person is far from where I live or if it's the person that I'm thinking of that is nearby to me.
I actually am feeling, as you're saying this to me, I actually feel that you're not supposed to know exactly which man it is.
Okay, got
all right? You're not supposed to know exactly which man it is. For some reason, I feel it might change your behavior. All right?
Okay.
But, treat the other man in the same way that I told you, the friend, and not in that way.
Okay.
Like a friend, and how would you treat a friend? Do that with both men. I will say this to you now. As I'm feeling the vibration, I get one of these men you're going to be with.
Okay, that's really good to know.
I feel it will be one of these men, but I feel that if you know which one, I feel it will change something that you're doing. I don't feel you're supposed to know yet. I will give you this: in a few months, one of them will be, when I say eliminated, one of them will fall to the wayside.
Okay.
And then you will know, and that won't take very long. 2 to 3 months. You know that 3 months, that 3 that I saw has to do with that.
Okay, excellent.
Thank you so much for calling in. We're going to take one more caller.
Yes, and God bless you.
Thank you so much. To you.
Thank you for calling.
Bye-bye.
Oh, that's excellent.
Actually,
that's
she
so
would.
interesting.
Yes, she would actually benefit very greatly from my book.
Oh my gosh, I'm sure she'd love it. Everything that you're saying, everything that you had said before about your book, and then what you were talking to her about, it sounds perfect. So we're going to have to make sure at the very end, we have a couple minutes left. You can say the website.
I feel it would help her. I feel it would help her a lot because she's going to have many more questions.
Exactly.
And I'd like her to be able to navigate this. She can navigate some of it on her own. And, you know, in relationships, there's many questions that come up. Her name was Nicole. Nicole, you need to buy my book.
Perfect. Okay, I'm sure she's still listening. And I'm going to take one more caller. This is a 617 area code. Hello, welcome to the show.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi, this is Gail. How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
How are you?
Good.
Do you have a question for Louise?
Yes. Hi, Louise. How are you?
I'm fine, Gail. How are you doing this evening?
Good. Louise, I have been looking for work for quite some time, and I was wondering if something's coming up for me soon.
Let me see. I see. Many times I will see numbers in connection to, or a month. I see 5. I see the number 5. I feel it's going to take a little longer for you to get be employed, except I feel you going for an interview soon.
Oh.
I feel you going in an interview very soon.
Okay.
All right. And actually you're going to go on an interview, and then I feel like there's something else. I'm not sure if it's another interview or you'll be called back. I feel the number 5, though. I'm trying to feel if it's 5 weeks or 5 months. 5 months is let me see. I feel 5 weeks I see an interview, but then and I feel you call back, and then I feel you should have a job. You should find employment in about 3 months.
Okay.
About 3 months total.
Excellent.
I get a good feeling, and I feel a very peaceful feeling around the employment that you will have.
Ooh, very good.
I feel it's like a place that you're supposed to go. It's a place that has opportunity for you.
Oh, excellent.
Yes, there's many doors that will be open for you from this job and advancement. And I actually see you in connection and working around about 5 different people. 5. 5 people, very important in the job that you will have.
Wow. Oh, very good.
I get a very good feeling.
Do you get the feel as to what type of business it will be?
I feel I don't actually. Sometimes I'll get an exact feeling about a business. One thing I feel you'll be on the phone a lot.
Mhm.
You'll be on the phone a lot, and I see it being rather busy. You'll be very busy, and I also feel that there will be deadlines.
Oh, okay.
It will be a job that has deadlines. So there will be a certain time. I feel that you will be at a little bit of a crunch, like, we have to have this done in 2 days because it must be done then. So it's a job that has deadlines, but you're on the phone a lot. You're going to deal a lot with people. On the phone. Calling and ordering. I see something with you calling and ordering some different things.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Thank you, Gail.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for calling in.
Beautiful.
Yes,
thank you. Blessings to you both.
Yes, God bless.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
So that's interesting. I'm glad we took those callers before the end of the show because we got a little mix of relationships and jobs. And those are the two main questions. I did get a really good vibe from Gail. I felt like she had really positive energy, and I think that the job that she had lost before, or what she was out of a job because she had a shift going on within herself. So I think it was a good thing. Mm-hmm. You know how sometimes that happens where you kind of, it's almost like you don't have any control over it. The universe is saying that one wasn't for you, and this one that's coming is, even though it's unseen at first. You don't know.
I feel that she's the kind of person that sticks with things a long time.
Yes.
And I feel that she had to be, I almost feel she has to be nudged. So the universe is nudging her in the right direction.
Exactly.
Yes.
She really had a powerful energy. I felt her
she
energy.
Did.
Like
she did. I got
really
lovely
strong
vibration.
work ethic.
Yes.
Strong work ethic.
Yes.
Ethic. But I just loved having you on the show. I really did, and I think a lot of people are going to benefit from listening to this. Mm-hmm. So tell us where we can get your book. What's your website that we can go to?
Okay, my website, LouiseHeleneThePsychic.com. Okay. That's my website, but my book is available at Barnes & Nobles all over the United States, Amazon.com, I believe the indiebooks.com. It's available. Through most websites, it's available. Kobo Books, like for people in Canada. It's available Amazon, Barnes & Noble, bookstores. I've even heard that it's at small bookstores. My brother lives in Wisconsin Dells, and there's a little small private bookstore there, and he went into the bookstore, and the book was there.
I was just there a couple of, probably 2 years ago now. I loved Wisconsin Dells. It was so nice. Yes. So it's called I Saw Your Future and He's Not It.
He's not it. I saw your future title. And he's not it. Sometimes
when I saw that, I just wanted
isn't.
to buy it right away.
Sometimes he is, sometimes he isn't. So.
Well, I'm so thankful that you were able to come on the show and give us some of your gifts. So thank you again.
Yes, and thank you for having me. You've been a lovely host, and it's been very enjoyable. I feel like I'm sitting, sometimes I interview with people, and it's some are more pleasant than others, but it seems like we're sitting in the kitchen talking.
I feel like that, too. Oh, my gosh, that's just great.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Louise, and I know we'll be in touch.
Oh, yes, and God bless you. It was lovely being on your show. Lovely.
God bless you, too, and have a great night.
Yes. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.